Alright, I'm grabbing my microphone. Didn't mean to scare you. Did not mean to scare you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome back once again to JJ's PC Build. You know it is JJ with you once again. Alright, before we get started, make sure you get your drink and snacks and you hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, so that way YouTube will put us out there like they never do. So make sure you hit it, though. At least it helps out us, me, here at the channel. So it helps us grow. We're still working towards 1,000 subscribers. So help us get there. We got 400 to go. Let's make it work and just pop in there and just subscribe. It's free to subscribe, just to let you know. Okay, today is the day we're going to mess around with a new game called Monster, what was it? We'll find it. Yes, I threw this together for a reason. This stream together really quick is because I had one of my loyal subscribers having issues, wanting me to help them along. And we were going to do some benchmarking today. And it's Monster Hunter Wilds benchmark. So what I'm doing is I'm putting everything together. So this way we can see what's happening. And I'm getting everything all set and ready for it in the midst while I'm talking to you. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Discord and tell them I'm live, so that way everybody knows. So that way they don't say, well, Jay, you forgot to tell us we were live here. Yeah, well, sometimes I forget. I am live. Oop, sorry, I didn't mean to drop you guys. There, now I told them. Now they all know, now they all know. I gotta fix this, it's too big. I think that has to deal with, yeah, that's what it has to deal with. There, now it's fixed. Now it ain't so big. I was wondering why that was so big. Well, hello, machine. Good to see you. Good to see you. Hopefully I didn't break my microphone dropping it and letting everybody hear that I'm dropping it and, you know, all that good stuff. So, let me get everything all put together, which I'm doing now. We got nothing available just of yet. That's because I haven't booted anything. Now, I'm gonna give you a helpful hint. This benchmark, I can only push it so far because I'm live streaming and doing the benchmark at the same time. So I can't push it as hard as you guys want me to. Just understand that. Because if I do, then what'll happen is we'll lose the whole stream. And then I have to start all over again. So we don't want to do that. So, what we can do is I'll get it started. And this way we can see what's going on. Which I am getting it started. Yes, it's going to hesitate the video, so do expect that. I know I'm gonna need a bigger processor. I already know this. So y'all don't have to remind me about that. I already know this. Now it's going to take a couple minutes to boot the game in. The benchmark game, because it's on Steam. So, let's go ahead and move you all on over to the primary monitor. There we go. So, what you do is you start off with, you got some English, frame generation, I'm going to put no. Close. Because I don't want to start it off just yet on frame generation. So let me go ahead and mute that noise right there. Hit benchmark. Go to options. Okay. Starting off, this is baseline. Graphics settings. We are going to go down to the lowest. And then hit back. And then this says do not adjust separately. Which we're going to leave that alone. Where it says Nvidia DLSS, we're going to go down to the bottom and we're going to disable it. Okay. We're going to disable it. Rendering scaling is going to be set to 100%. Bro, I don't think, the way I got things set up right now, I don't think I can get to Discord. Not unless you're going to join in on the discussion. And then I have to fix you around. So. Oh, you want to get in on the discussion. Okay. Okay, let's see if that worked. No, that's not going to work just yet. Guess what I did? Now try your voice.
You working?
Yes, sir. Okay. So let me fix the sound on the game. So this way we don't have that background audio. No.
You set everything up how you have it.
Got to turn all the. I have to turn everything off.
Yep.
Headphones. I'm sure I got everything off. That's good. Okay, now we're going to start again. We're going to go into display settings. I got mine set at 1080p on automatic, borderless window. HDR output automatically enabled, which I don't have HDR, so it's not going to enable, so it don't really matter. And where it says Nvidia Reflex Low Latency Mode disabled. For now. For now.
I'm looking it up.
Right. Everybody can now. Do remember, everybody can hear us. So we are live.
Okay.
So
Reflex low latency disable. Oh, there we go. Disable. I wonder what the boost does.
oh, I already know. It definitely lowers the latency. Trust me. I went from 12 to 7. 12 milliseconds to 7 milliseconds, so it does work.
Right, and we're doing graphic settings lowest.
We're doing the graphic settings. We're doing, see where it says graphic settings and it says custom?
Yep.
It's going to change because we're going to be customizing this. Okay, back to the render scaling. I turned off upscaling. Okay. The cutscene graphics do not adjust separately. It automatically will adjust to the graphics settings. So these two pair themselves up, so you don't have to worry about that. So.
And render scaling at 100.
Yep. It should be set at 100. So basically, that's 100% of the GPU.
Okay.
So. Ray tracing's off, texture quality's at lowest, texture filtering quality's at the lowest, mesh quality, you could probably leave that at medium.
It doesn't go any lower than that.
Right. That's why I said you probably can leave that at medium.
Yeah.
Fur quality set at low. Let's go over to the second one. Now, I don't know about the surface quality being on high and the sand snow quality being on high, but basically this is their lowest settings.
Right. And it'll be the same for the both of us.
Yes.
Minus the motion blur.
Right. Which will be off.
I hate that so much.
And the variable rate shading, it should be set on performance. Some people say the volumetric fog, it should be off, but low is probably the lowest. But if you notice how I'm scrolling over each one, and over to your right, it's showing the performance hit that each one of these metrics do on your PC, for your GPU. Shows if it's a CPU hit or if it's a GPU hit. Like here, it says it hits performance on your GPU. This hits performance on your GPU and your VRAM. This GPU, this is GPU, this is GPU and VRAM. This is, something that doesn't really get a hit on anything. This too, motion blurs off, but GPU, you can go back through. Good thing, ambient occlusion. See, this is the one problem I have with everything. Ambient occlusion always takes a massive hit to your GPU. It always puts a massive hit. So, that you always want to make sure you got off.
Yep, mine's off.
And the ambient lighting quality set to low, and look at the performance hit it takes. It takes almost 40% of your GPU right there for performance hit.
Yeah, mine's a little bit higher than yours, just like mine's at 4.05 and yours at 4.02.
That's because you have the Super Series and I don't.
Okay, so it pulls a little bit more.
Yes. Remember, yours is going to pull 220 watts. Mine's only going to pull 200.
Okay, that's that little bit extra.
Yeah. Makes a big difference. That 20 watts makes a big difference, but I got mine going up to 208.
I mean, this game doesn't require a bunch to run it. You can run it on a 4 gigabyte card.
From what I see, you can run this on all day on a 1080 Ti.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really not bad.
No.
For a brand new game coming out.
Yeah, you can run this all day on a 1080 Ti.
Yeah. Even if you're on old tech, I mean, it should still work decently.
Yeah, of course. I mean, but when you look at it, and at the end of the day, and you go to play your game, that should be all what you're really doing is playing your game. Okay.
Right.
Once you figure out all your settings and what they're good and bad for, that's where you can fine tune it. Get your baseline, which what we're doing right now is getting your baseline. We're doing a custom setting, graphics setting, at 100% render scaling. Okay, nothing else running. Right. So now all we do is we hit back, and then hit benchmark. And as we hit benchmark, we'll see. Now, I don't know. See, I can tell you with me streaming right now, I'm going to take a big performance hit.
Yeah.
Because now I got Discord open, and now I got I'm live streaming. So
I exited out on accident, so I'm going to
you X'd out.
I didn't mean to.
Looks like you're going to have to go back through the video, right?
Yeah, I'm going to go through it. I mean, it's not too bad. I know what I need to do.
But look, this right here is raw performance, raw rasterization.
Right.
And you're watching it in real time. And this is a 4070. This, I bet you any money I hit the Silicon Lottery with this damn GPU. I had to have, because there's no other explanation to this. And I'm not bragging about it. I mean, damn, but it was well worth the money. And the outcome to this now, after a year and 10 months, new software, a new refresh, you can't beat that. I mean, that's giving it like a whole new lease on life. I'm not disappointed in what I bought. And as everybody can see, I'm using the Ryzen 7 5700X. Even though I know you could have went to Daniel Owens over there, and he was running a 5600X on his. So, yeah. There. Hello there, Gur. Good to see you. Sorry I was on the wrong screen. Now I'm on the right screen. Oh, by the way, when I switch screens and I click off of this one, the performance goes semi-idle. So I got to be careful. Because you can flow your mouse off screen if you got two monitors. What happened, machine? You got quiet all of a sudden.
I'm getting everything right where I need to be. I'm about ready to start it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I muted the sound from the benchmark. And if everybody wonders what we're doing, we are benchmarking this game here because it's a free benchmark you can get on Steam and download it yourself. And benchmark your GPU, especially if you got an Nvidia GPU. It works really good with Nvidia, and it works really good with AMD. I don't know about Intel. I can't tell you. So, keep that in mind. But what we're doing is, yeah, what we're doing is I'm helping out Machine with his 4070 Super, and I'm running my 4070, establishing a baseline with his graphics card, so this way he knows he's got a starting point. And that's basically what we're getting right now, is a starting point. So once we get past that starting point, that's going to help him to move forward. So that way now he can start tweaking it and doing little fine tuning to get it to run the way he wants to have it run on this benchmark. Even though that Nvidia didn't put the transformer model on this, which would have been cool, which would have been really cool. That would have given it more of a life. And I don't think they didn't put ray reconstruction on here, did they? I don't think they did. I didn't see any ray reconstruction. But even though, it still runs fabulous for what it is and what it does right now. Monster Hunter Wilds game is going to be a really cool game for somebody that really wants to play this. This game's got some action in this game. And they're not a sponsor, by the way. Even if they did want to sponsor, I'm sure they'll get into my email and say, hey, Jay, can we sponsor you? That'd be so cool. So, I'm just bragging. I had to.
It's got the Final Fantasy little vibes to it.
Yeah, it does. But it looks really cool. But the girl looks like Harry Potter. She does. She almost looks like Harry Potter. I mean, yeah. Okay, now you see my score at 1080p, and it's right there in front of everybody. It says 1080p custom, which is baseline custom. That means just native custom. Low settings. There's the output. Now, that's not a bad score. I don't think. Now, I could have got a bigger score if I would have went 720p. See, now, if I were to go to 720p, you know, there would be a different story. But I think it would look kind of poo-poo if you go to 720p, though. Kind of. But we can try it, since we're waiting on Machine over there.
Yeah, I'll screenshot it and send it to you when I get done. I'm halfway through.
That's fine. That's fine. So, something tells me it's going to make me go through the setup again of this benchmarking.
It won't. It won't.
Well, lucky me.
It's out all the way.
Yeah, lucky me, man. Damn. Let's see. I could change this and I can go to 720p. Yes. So, let's go to 720p and benchmark it. So now we get to see 720p. How good or how bad or how ugly. This is how you set up your baseline. You go from your lowest baseline to your highest baseline that you can go. And it's not fuzzy. It's not artifacting. But you can see on the hair a little bit. It's not really noticeable, but you can tell there's a little bit of a, well, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, yeah. You can tell on the face. You can tell the dots on the face. When they got a darker complexion. Wow. Not so much, but I don't know. I don't think it's that bad. I don't know what you all think. You leave your comments there. You know, we're live. You can leave it in the chat. Or if you're watching this video on a replay, you can always leave your comment on the video just for say. And you can always hit the subscribe button too. Right now what I'm doing is I'm looking for artifacting. Oh, that one was running a little bit there, bro. Yeah, 720p is not going to be the way to go. Not at native 720p. It looks really bad. Really bad. And you were complaining? Really? Bro.
What?
Look at your score. Now do you see the difference?
Yeah, well, it should be what, 20%?
That
Years?
No, it should only be about from that. From what I recollect, it was only supposed to be 16, and that's about right on the money.
Plus, my CPU is just a tad better, right?
Yeah.
It's not a big difference.
No. See, but most of your score is based upon your GPU. Your CPU is just the supporter. Ooh, this 720p looks nasty at native.
I know.
Oh, nothing I can do. I have to ride this wave out all the way to the end.
No, you can press escape and you can get out of there.
No, I just want to, I want to look at the misery. I want to see the misery.
We used to play on that every day.
Yeah, I know.
Nothing.
I used to play on this with the CRT monitor.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
No wonder why I'm so spoiled.
Good old Sims games from the early 2000s.
Yeah. Yeah, but 720p is not the way to go with this. 1440p, yeah. 1080p, not well, yeah. For my gameplay, with the way I had it set up, yeah, I can get away with 1080p because I'm not too picky about the pixels and all. I'm not nitpicking the pixels, not unless it looks nasty, But right here 720p looks nasty. So, nastier than, never mind. Let's see, GB Gaming, good to see you. Benchmarking testing software, yes, this is Monster Hunter Wilds. And it's free on Steam. This is a really cool benchmark to really get your hands dirty if you really want to get into seeing what your GPU can do. But let me put the disclaimer in there. Here's the disclaimer. That it is very CPU intensive as well. Very CPU intensive. So, I'm running a benchmark at 720p on a 4070 with the 57 5700X AM4 processor. I know everybody says, oh, AM4 is dead. And I wish they would stop saying that. I really wish you would stop saying AM4 is dead. I mean, I can see you saying it in the next 4 or 5 years. But still, as long as Microsoft Windows will still boot up on the CPU, it's not dead. So let's just get that point across. So from what this says, at 28,322 and getting 82.696 FPS at 720p, I still could not catch up with the 4070 Super. There. Now you heard it. And you ran yours at 1080p or 1440p machine?
At 1080p. It was yours.
Yeah. And now you see the results. Right. You see the results now. I'm showing you the results.
So. Yeah, so I mean, it's about, you said 17%. That's about right.
Yeah, it is. It's about correct. So, there's nothing wrong with your GPU. That's what I told you before. There was nothing wrong with it.
It was just a settings thing. I probably had the ambient occlusion on and you didn't.
Exactly. And you listen, because I said I don't like ambient occlusion. I really don't.
Yeah.
Because it does nothing but eat up resources. I can make this look good without ambient occlusion being on, and still get more FPS. I could drum this all the way up probably to 2 to almost close to 300 FPS.
Ambient light quality seems to be hard hit too.
Yeah, but that's something that you don't want to mess with. Ambient occlusion, I don't even turn it on, because I know it takes a big performance hit. Because once you kick in ray tracing, that's even a bigger hit. So it's either you put on ray tracing and take off ambient occlusion, or leave ambient occlusion on and take a bigger hit. I leave it off, and even if I do ray tracing, it's still, either way I look at it. So,
yeah, I put on anti-aliasing, the FXAA plus TAA.
Oh.
And low ray tracing. See what happens.
Oh. I already know what's going to happen. It's going to look nasty, man.
The TAA, that's supposed to clear up some of that noise that happens when you turn it off.
Bro, if you want to clear that noise up, you can use DLAA. Truthfully. Or you can go into your manual settings and turn on MSAA. That'll clean it up too. You got many tools to clean it up. I like to see that all games allow you to use DSR, dynamic screen resolution. That would clean up all that noise that's that noise that's going from 1080p to 1440p to 4K. If you got a 1080p monitor, you can go to 1440p and it takes out like 3/4 to almost, I would say, 70 to 75% of the noise. You don't even see it anymore. Like when I played Cyberpunk, I didn't see the noise. Seriously. I didn't see the noise. Like how my face looks right now, and it's got, it's really noisy. I got to figure that out, why my cam does that. But it's got to be a setting. I just haven't really messed with the settings that much. So let's see. AM4 is definitely not dead. I am running a 5900X. Yep, I agree with you there, GB. I agree with you 100%. But do remember, And I'm gonna bring my face back into this picture here, before we go on. Let me remind you of something. You'll hear many of those big time reviewers saying, "Oh, how many times have they said AM4 is dead?" You don't see me saying it. I'm not a big time reviewer, and I ain't stupid neither. So I'm just saying it the way it is. People don't like the way I say it, then, too bad. Just how I am. I say it how it is, that's how it is, and that's how it's going to be. Simple, said and put. I'm not going to beat around the bush with everybody. When it comes to building a PC, you want that critical information. You want that little itty bitty information to get you started, to get you on that right path. You don't want people throwing you like 300, 500, throwing you this way. That's the problem. That's the problem with building PCs. When you get concrete evidence and concrete facts of the truth, that's what matters. That's what matters. But nobody wants to get to the truth. Everybody wants to throw these assumptions out there, and then, look at it this way. They say, "Oh yeah, well, they said it's this way," and then turn around, "Oh no, it was this way." Why are you going to take your consumer and split them like this? Not happening with me. It's either I find out the truth or I don't even talk about it. Simple. And if I talk about it, I know what I'm talking about. And right now, what we're doing right here is establishing a baseline. Are we not there, machine? Machine?
Yep. Hey, I got a setting for you to try.
Oh yeah, you were telling me that. Well, let me go ahead and switch back to the screen.
Yep.
Okay. Now I'm back on it.
So I turned on the LAA, like you said.
Right.
Everything else is the same, and everything's on low. I enabled ray tracing on low.
Right.
And frame generation.
You turned on frame generation?
Doubling my and I'm almost doubling my FPS, and it looks a lot cleaner.
So you went DLSS. Okay, so you went on custom settings. We know that. You went to frame generation, DLLAA. Enable that. Go balanced to DLAA. Okay. It's going to take me a minute to catch up with you, so. But did you leave it all? Did you leave it all on lowest settings?
Yeah, everything else is exactly the same. The only thing I changed was ray tracing, DLAA, and put frame generation back in. So that's it. Those three things. Everything else is exactly the same.
Okay, that's pretty much what I got here. So now we can
kind of test the frame gen and ray tracing a little bit.
Right. So basically, that's coming. That's what it comes down to, man. I mean, how many times have you watched other reviewers' videos, and you can't get the right information? It's like you have to pull teeth to find out, how do I update my BIOS on my motherboard? You know how many videos back then I had to go through to see how many were giving the right information on how to grab one of these USB sticks, one of these USB sticks, and then you turn around and get it all set up and everything else, blah, 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 That took me back way long ago, because before then, running the old motherboards, you'd have to do the BIOS through the startup. Or you could do the BIOS through the command.com. But now it's a lot different. Now you can plug in a USB into the back, and you can, do BIOS flashback.
Hey, I read in at 1080p, by the way, not 720.
No, I'm at 720. But still, I put it to the lowest factor.
Right.
It don't look half bad at 720 now. Now that you added in all that extra.
Yeah, the DLAA makes a big difference on a little bit of the choppiness.
Yeah.
Cleaned it up.
It's not as grainy now.
Right.
That I did notice. It's not as grainy.
Anti-aliasing that's working.
Yeah. I mean, it's looking good. I mean,
generation makes a big difference FPS wise. Huge difference.
oh yeah, this says I'm doing about 169, close to about 170 FPS, the way I have it set right now. And everybody's sitting there crying about their 5080 and 5090. I don't get this. The 5080 and 5090 should be rocking at 2x. At 2x, it should be rocking at least 300 FPS. 300 FPS. And rasterization between the 4070 and the 5070, you're only looking at a 23% jump. That's it. 23%. And if you're going from a 4070 Super to a 5070, you're only looking at like a 5 to 7% jump. That's it. At rasterization. Nothing else, just rasterization. So. But once you turn on the eye candy and everything else, then what happens is that percentage starts getting further away. But if you run both 5070 and 4070, you'll see that the difference is going to be the same. Now, running the 4070 Super to the 5070, it tightened up the gap quite a bit, bro. I mean, way quite a bit. To the point where it might be faster, the 4070 Super might be faster than the 5070. Think about it.
Find out here.
Yeah. It's just my opinion. I mean, but
I think it's going to be close.
Yeah.
But it all depends on if the VRAM speed helps. That'll be the kicker, won't it?
No, because you got to look at this fact and think about it. The PCIe 4.0 X16, and not a lot of people got the 5.0 motherboards, X16 motherboards, and they're having
running on a 4.0. Yeah.
They're having problems with the 5.0 X16 right now because of the software.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah. So you're basically stuck on GDDR7 that's running like GDR6X. See my point?
Yeah, it's not getting its full potential.
Exactly. Because once you cut the PCIe speed down, you start to lose some of that gigabytes of transfer per lane once you start slowing it down. So it'd be just, if you match its the lane burst, the lane burst in between the two running at the same speed is basically going to be like, you're only going to get like a 0.5% bump on memory how can I say this? Basically, 4.0x16 has a certain amount of gigabytes of transfer, of information burst. It only holds a certain amount of information. Now, with the GDR7 holding more information, like double, and you cut it down to a 4.0x16, and that's like half, you see what happens? You're losing that amount of information share between the CPU and the GPU. So, kind of slows it down a bit.
Oh, I noticed that using FrameGen, my CPU was not utilized as much.
No, it won't be, because the GPU is going to be utilized more.
Right. Oh, yeah, because it actually dropped it even at a lower resolution.
Yeah, it will.
It dropped it by like 8%.
Yeah,
which is kind of cool. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, well, that means you lost 3% in latency, somewhere in there.
Yep.
Okay, GB Gaming says, this is why I'm here to get some insight on the next GPU upgrade path. I've had a 2080 Super for a while now. I run mostly 1080p, which I do. I run 1080p all day. And you always show the true price to performance with these GPUs. Yeah, I try to, yeah, and basically, yeah. And you explain very well for me to understand. Well, I try to do my best, GB, and if I don't, then I'm sure you all are going to tell me, and guess what? I'm going to have to explain it a little bit better. But I keep it nice and slow and easy, and I'm not rushing things like everybody else does. What's the rush? I don't care how long the video takes to explain myself or explain how it works. Everybody's got a blah, 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 blah. I don't have to do that. And everybody thinks, oh, Jay sounds like he's drunk. Machine, do I sound like I'm drunk?
It does.
Yeah, well, I try. I try my best.
Yep.
So, but I am not. I've had a stroke, as the doctor told me. That's why I got brain damage a little bit. So, I talk a little bit slower, but I do my best. Is the 28 Super a great card? The 2080 Super is a great card. You got anything to say about the 2080 Super there, Machine? Or no?
I think it's a great card. Yeah, I just put it in the chat.
Oh, you did.
Yep. Yeah, it's good. You can run that for probably till next gen without a problem with all the software upgrades you get.
Yeah. If I remember right, that's the one with the 11 gigabytes of VRAM, right?
No, that's the 8. I think it's 8 gigabytes.
Is that the 8? I thought the 2080 Ti, I think, has got
Ti.
The 2080 Ti's got it. 11 gigabytes of VRAM.
Yeah.
But still, that's the 2080 Ti is a monster still, and it still keeps up with some of the 40 series, believe it or not. So yeah, I mean, if you're looking to, get a great gaming card, okay, I know a lot of people saying, I'd rather go with AMD and everything else and blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry. I tried AMD. I tried the 7800 XT. I thought it had too much software issues for my liking. So I got my neighbors all set up and everything else. And he's rocking it along because he doesn't do overclocking like I do. And with this game, you can't overclock. I'm just going to break this down to everybody. I've already tried. When I was making a video on this, I tried, and guess what? The game froze, OBS froze, and it said no. So Don't try MSI Afterburner with this benchmark. It will not work. So at least it keeps you honest. You know, at least you know you get a precise benchmark without having any tools in the chest and just using the hardware itself. That's the whole idea. That's the reason why you don't want to use any overclocking tools with this. Do you agree or disagree, Machine?
Yeah, I agree.
So what do you think?
Yeah, I turned all mine off, like you said.
Yeah, that's the best thing to do. So now, what do you think about your scores?
It makes more sense.
You know how to start your baseline now, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's with every game. You start your base.
I'm running my other games at max 1440p with the Super. So, I mean, I'm like, it's just something I'm doing wrong with this particular software. So.
Well, you have to start at the bottom. You have to start with the baseline, and that's what it comes down to. I think what it was is you didn't have a direct baseline to start with.
Yep.
I always say start with the native baseline on low setting, on whatever your monitor is set up to be, 1080p, 1440p, 4K, or whatever. Me, I would say that 1440p would be your baseline to go with. But if you want to really see what your GPU is going to do on the 40 series or below the 40 series, I would start at 1080p because that pushes more load onto the GPU. Now, with the 50 series is a little bit different ball of wax. What pushes more onto the GPU is 4K. Hello, pseudoscientist. Good to see you, man. Good evening to you as well, my friend. So, if everybody's having this conniption about where to start with, well, you start with the baseline on the 50 series. You start it with 4K and work your way down to 1080p. Now, with the 40 series, you start at 1080p and work your way up to 4K. You start at native, low settings, and then build it from there. I would just say, on the 40 series, start at 1080p, do your baseline, and then after that, add frame generation to it, add ray tracing to it, and see what you have. You can do DLAA, just like we did here, and I'm getting ready to switch the frequencies on the monitor, and you guys can watch me do that. So we're switching everything around. So let's go ahead and move back to that screen. Okay.
You have to run another benchmark for pseudo. I don't know if you've seen it yet.
Oh yeah, I know. But do remember, I got instant replay on these videos. So if you missed, you ain't gonna miss a thing, man. You can always go back to the beginning and watch it through again. You know what I mean? So you're not missing a thing. That's the good thing. It would have been different if I would have said, okay, I turned off instant replay and nobody can watch the replays. But I leave that option open, so that's a good thing. Some reviewers are stopping doing that. And I wonder why. Okay, we go to 1080p. Yes, I know. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, now. We're at DLAA, enabled, DLSS, custom, low settings. Ray tracing on. I'm going to set ray tracing at medium. What do you guys think?
In 1440p, I don't notice any difference between low and high.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It does take a huge hit between low and high. Like, it takes a huge hit on performance. You're talking like 10 to 15 FPS just for one setting.
Well, that's not bad. Do you think that's bad?
Yeah.
If you lose 10 or 15 FPS and you're rocking 170 FPS, you really think that you're going to miss that 15 FPS?
Yeah. Well, I didn't try it with frame gen, so it might be a little bit different.
Yeah. Mine's still going to be rocking with the frame gen. And I'm rocking it with ray tracing.
I've got mine on low with frame gen on 1440p right now.
I got mine the same settings as they were before. I just turned on ray tracing on medium. So, and then hit benchmark and see what we got. So is Machine happy with his 4070 Super? I don't know. You can ask him yourself. He's on the microphone right here, bro. He's on the microphone. We're connected up on Discord. So he's talking to me, and you guys probably can hear him too. I hope you can. So. Yeah, I didn't take that much of a hit. 12 FPS. Maybe less.
Yeah, I went from 6800 to a 4070 Super. So it's quite a bit faster, and I can actually ray trace now, which is kind of nice.
Yes, GB, that is correct. I am the 4070. Machine is 4070 Super. Just to let you know. I didn't mean to cut you off there, Machine. He was asking that question.
You're good.
So, as you can see, at 1080p, I don't think this looks bad. I don't get what everybody talks about 1080p. Y'all can kiss my ass about talking bad about 1080p. I don't care. I like it. And I think it looks good.
It actually doesn't look bad at 1080p. When I'm running it, it looks good.
Yeah,
it looks like it's a pretty well optimized game.
People can't keep counting out 1080p. That's the thing. I mean,
it's a good starting point. It's cheap. It's easy. If you can run it, those monitors are cheap. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
It's not going to die. It's not going to go anywhere. Professionals game at 1080p. It's not going to. It ain't going anywhere.
No, it's not at all. I'm rocking at 1080p at 60 hertz. 60 hertz. I just don't. The hertz don't mean. It's just the denoising. That's what the hertz means. Denoising. To me, I mean, you can rock it just like this and save yourself some money. I got my bro to get. He's happy with 1080p for now. Yeah, look, I've been rocking 1080p since 1980. Well, no, I can't say 1980. I say 2002. But before then, it was, what? In the beginning, it was 640 by 480. And then 800 by 600. We're really getting down there, don't you think? Yeah. I got my bro into gaming. Yeah. Hey, if he's happy, pseudoscientist, that's all good, bro. That is all good. But like I said, you know, I'm showing you all these benchmarks is because I'm working with Machine right now on his, because earlier today we were benchmark comparing, and what happened was is my score was higher than his. I'm sorry, that was funny, bro.
Yeah, I was going, what am I doing wrong? This is supposed to be a faster card.
Yeah, I told you, you freaked out for nothing, man.
I got a 7700X. I'm like, my GPU should be a little bit better. Not by a whole lot, but a little bit. And then my CPU should be a little bit better, and my GPU should be, noticeably better.
Yeah.
And, I was like, what? How is this possible? I'm like, you got the super sample, or what's going on? Like, damn, you got a 4070 Super without even knowing it.
Well, I'm not that far off from the Super, as you can see. But still,
Yeah.
the 4070 still rocks. I mean,
It'll run 1080p for at least this one next generation, if not longer.
I could carry
Software updates.
I could carry this all the way up to the 60 series, or maybe the 70 series. If you think about it, as long as the software keeps coming out good and we don't have any problems with the software, not like they had on the 5090D over there in China. Sorry, I had to get that out really quick. I don't know if y'all heard about that. The 5090D over in China are getting bricked because of the driver software. I had that same problem with an AMD third-party graphics card. And what happened was I used the AMD's software, totally bricked the graphics card. It really didn't matter anyway because it was only 1 gigabyte of VRAM. I mean, I'm not going to sweat it. I just use it as a paperweight. So, you're not late there, pseudoscientist. You're doing just fine. So what has he done wrong? I don't know. Machine, what have you done wrong? Or what did you figure? Huh?
I need to learn the card. I just need to learn the card. I have to get used to the Nvidia software.
Uh-huh.
I'm so used to AMD. I just have to get used to everything. Like you said, I just got to mess with it
Yep.
a lot, and then I'll get used to it.
It
I
takes.
didn't even know where to start.
This is how you start. Baseline everything.
Yep.
And then, each game that you do a baseline with, you work yourself up to its max. And then you bring it back down to find the happy medium. And then you put a nail in it and leave it alone. See, there's a difference between overclocking and having a happy medium on your GPU. Okay? Overclocking just stresses out your GPU and just beats it up and lessens the life. But the whole purpose of overclocking is to take your GPU from the baseline to the top of the top, as much as you can get out of it, and then cut it in half and put it right in the middle and put a nail in it. And go with those settings. You do that, you'll find a perfect balance between your CPU and your GPU. But you're never going to find a perfect balance if you keep going to the max of your overclock. You're just taking and stressing out the silicon. Basically, degrading the silicon. So, just find your happy medium. And that's what matters the most. And with some people, they don't find that happy medium. They really don't. Because they want more and more and more. Look, your graphics card's designed to give you that happy medium. It's not designed to give you that power push every time that you ask for it. If so, get a 5090. And you're still going to run it the same way I'm running my 4070. You're still going to run it the same way, is because unless you want to suffer buying power supplies, That 5090 will make you go buy power supply after a while. It can handle the power, but your PSU can't handle the punishment. Not unless it's really good. Because if not, you're going to torch your power supply. I can just tell you that right now. I can hear 100,000 power supplies going up in smoke. You lean towards undervolting their pseudoscientists. Yes, my friend, that's the best way to go. But you know what I do, and I'm going to tell you. I don't need to overclock mine. My GPU came with an overclocking button. I turn it on, that's all I need. I don't need any more than that because I get perfect FPS every time. The hardware itself is overclocked, not by software. There's no software involvement on this type of overclock when it comes from the factory. When it comes from the factory with an overclock button, you don't have to worry about the software of overclocking because it's already pushing that GPU silicon to its max. Going over that max is just because you want to test the silicon to see if you got the golden lottery. That's all. So, I think he said it. Let's see. When you bumped up in testing, you explained to add frame generation and what else? Okay, well, let's go backwards. We'll go back and I'll show you. Okay, now, let's go into the settings. We'll go backwards into the settings and then we'll show you.
DLAA.
Right.
Ray tracing and frame generation is all we added.
There. Now, as you can see, I got it set on custom low settings. I didn't change the cutscenes in the graphics. It says do not adjust separately. It combines them. Nvidia DLSS, and look what it says. This says it right here onto your right. It says uses Nvidia DLSS 3.7.10. Requires and yeah, we all know we know that too. And gives and enables hardware accelerated GPU. Yeah, we know that. Scheduling in your OS, yes, we know that too. But you guys already know that. So basically it automatically overrides what's in Windows and gives you the push. That's basically what this is saying. That's what frame generation is. It just overrides Windows.
So you need to have that on in order to use frame gen. You have to have that on.
Yeah, you have to have it on, the game setting on in Windows. Yes.
DLAA. Yeah.
So frame generation is enabled. I use DLAA. It is anti-aliasing, which is native for native resolutions, which I'm not really using native resolution, but kind of looks like I'm using native. And then ray tracing set on medium. Because I don't want to get into too much of a performance hit. You know what I mean, bro?
I think low looks great, by the way. Ray tracing.
Well, you could have said, "Oh, low looks great."
Low, I think low looks good. You notice the difference between low and off for sure.
Okay, well then we'll try it at low.
If you look at the picture changes on the screen.
Yeah, I know. I don't like
what
that.
You're looking at with the water.
Yeah, I don't like what I'm looking at there. That doesn't tell me much because it's a very
go to off and see what it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like it's off, bro. No, but
yeah, when you go to off, it looks bad.
Yeah, well, I like to run them. See, anytime I make a change, I want to run it. You know.
That just gives you an idea of what you're looking at.
I know, But anytime I make one change, I run it because I want to see what it's doing. Just by one little change, if it was right or wrong. You know, it's always testing theories and making it factual. Because when people are watching, believe it or not, we're on YouTube. There's going to be millions and millions of people watching, listening to what we're talking about. And what they want to find out is, how am I doing this at 1080p and making it look so good? And then you got other reviewers sitting there saying, well, it looks like it's bad. Look at it. It's right here. It's in black and white. You can see everything. And I show everybody everything. Oh, you're welcome there, GB. You're welcome, man. No problem. So, as you can see, this is the best way that you get to show the viewers how it really looks. And believe it or not, guys, I'm going to tell you what you see on your screen. I don't know how I did it, but I got it close to dead exact. Believe it or not. I'm seeing the exact same thing. What you see on your screen machine for, YouTube on the live stream, you're seeing what I see because it's live. There's only a 10-second delay between when I'm broadcasting to everybody else. You'll notice that. But that 10-second delay does not mean that the video textures have changed. We're still running. We, believe it or not, yeah, we are. And you know what? I found out why. This has got to be the craziest thing. I found out why I was dropping stream. Oh, you took your notes. That's cool, man. That's cool. But you know why I was dropping stream? And it didn't dawn on me until I went into the BIOS section in the PBO curve, and I had it set on auto. I couldn't believe that. Yeah, that's why I was dropping stream. And you notice
now.
that. Figured out. It's all better. Yeah, I set it back to where I had it before, and guess what? Now I'm not dropping stream. So, undervolting your CPU seems to be a better thing than to overdriving your CPU and kind of burning it up. So, what you need to try is that new program that I was telling everybody about. Do you remember what that one was?
Which one? There's a bunch.
Well, I was telling you all about Quick CPU.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That's something else.
Yeah, I went to what was it, Geekbench, and downloaded Quick CPU. That's what it was called, Quick CPU. That gave me more information. I mean, hell, I'm just gonna hit this button right here. I'm just gonna show you guys. How about that? I'm just gonna show you guys and bring it on the screen. Oh, I got to do something about my nose, truthfully. Now, see, this is Quick CPU. I caught on to this program. I was sitting there looking through some stuff. And this tells me what my CPU's actually doing. All 8 cores. Right now, I'm only running 82 watts on my CPU. This is telling me over here. Oh my God, you guys are going to bust me now. Guess what's happening? Oh Oh, guess what? Jay forgot. Jay forgot the damn big mouse cursor again. I can hear it now. I can hear it in y'all's voice. I didn't put the big cursor out. There. Now, this right here is a good program. This tells you if your cores are parked. Right here, it tells you if they're parked. This tells you your data distribution, your utilization, and your workload. Tells you right here. So that's a really good deal. Now I'm going to have to move that over there. See, it tells you your power level distribution. This tells you your clock distribution. That means your frequency distribution. This tells you your average workload and your average utilization distributions. Now, if you want to know about your memory, this will give you a chart for your memory data. If you want to know what your RAM is doing, your system RAM, this will help you with your system RAM to see where it's actually going. You know, it's got some tools to this. It's got some tools to this. This is, I haven't explored all of it yet. But this gives you a pie chart to tell you what each core is doing. This tells you how balanced your percentage on your cores are. Right here. And you can see all the cores on mine are almost balanced, except for the green one here. This should be a little bit more over here, but that's core 7 compared to core 3. See, core 7 slacking a little bit. So we can see that. And your memory data. This tells you how much memory you're using, CPU memory. This tells you that I got 34.04% in use. I got 42.68% committed. And this tells me how much I'm exactly using. So, this tells me that I'm not using too much. So.
You put a link in Discord for that?
I'll have to. Yeah, I'll have to blow that up and go to. Let me see. I'll do quick. See, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll get there. Let's see. Hopefully, I'm not messing with the stream.
Seems good.
Make sure you hit the right one, though. Here. I'll hit copy. And I'll walk you guys through it. There. I'll walk you guys through it. Hit Control V. Hit Enter. Okay, I left the link in the chat for you guys. This right here is freeware. All you do is you click on download 64-bit. And trust me, it won't give you any nasty wares. So, I've already tested this. I'm using it now, as you can see. All you gotta do is hit the 64-bit. And then automatically it'll come up to your thing. It's a zip file, so you have to create a new file, call it your quick CPU. Put this zip file inside of a folder, and then you can, oh God, my brain's not fried today. Oh my God. You can, let me just go there. So basically what you can do is like this. You can right click. You can extract all inside of that folder. Best thing to do. So, it's not hard. It's very simple setup. Simple, easy, and done. If I didn't explain that well, my bad. You're welcome, GB. Machine, did you understand that?
Yep. Should be done with it here in just a second.
I've already downloaded it. You guys can see it. I have no problem with the software. The software is running fine. I've been running the software for the last 3 or 4 days, I think. But I figured it's a good tool. I know a lot of people like using hardware info and stuff like that. But when you get 2 monitors, I'll tell you, this, you could always put this on your secondary monitor and see now that one little change at 1080p wasn't too bad, bro. So 113.35 FPS. And the game looks good. Okay. Now you guys got the idea of how that works. I'm exiting the benchmarks because I'm beating the P out of my CPU at the same time, and it's not good to do that. So, especially when you're streaming. You know what I mean? Don't kill your CPU. So, just to give you that idea, Okay. Now, let's go up to the top. I got everything on my secondary. All right. Now, I can move everything down below. Machine, so you're all set now on that, correct?
No.
What do you mean, no?
Hold on, I'm still working on it.
No, I'm talking about the benchmarking thing.
Oh, yeah. I'm good.
Yeah, I was talking about the benchmarking, bro. So that gives you an idea of what to do with the benchmark. Hey, Dakota, good to see you, bro. Oh, we got Dakota on the line. And you know, Dakota can get on the call if he wants and be a part of the call. And I can, bro, it's open field. You can get on the call. If you want to be on the call, it's up to you. So, gotta do something. My damn nose has just been going crazy on me. But yeah, Dakota can get on the call if he wants. We got an open general voice chat in Discord. So, Machine's on it, I'm on it. Just let you know. Oh, you're at work? Oh, okay, bro. Oh, you're on your car buds in the... What? Oh, they're garbage. I got you. I'm learning so much. I just started back my channel. So I will be coming here to get all the tips to get my stuff running correctly. I'm an old newbie. GB, look, let me explain this. I'm a 36-year noob. Am I not, Machine?
Yeah, it's true.
I've been doing this stuff too many years. And you know, I have fun doing it every time. Every time that I get on the stream, I have fun with you all. Most definitely. It's interesting. Now to see the way technology is now these days, it's even more interesting because if you go back into 1984 or 1985 or 1986, I can tell you playing what is it like ping pong, playing ping pong, or Berserk, or Missile Command, and stuff like that, or Tempest, or Pac-Man, you know, Doom, yeah, Doom. The one game that got me so hooked, and back then, and it was brought out, was Aliens versus Predator. And I played that game on an Intel processor, a 386. Could you imagine playing that kind of game on a 386 processor? That was interesting. And only having 512, well, 256 megs of video RAM, that is interesting. Challenging. Very challenging. So, you have to do what you have to do to make it work. That's all I'm going to say. That's what makes it best, is when you can do it yourself, called DIY. Other than going and buying a pre-built. I ain't going to mention who. Guys, if you start from the beginning and you build your computer from the beginning and you build it up to the way you want with your hands and your knowledge of building it, even if you start off at the beginning, the very beginning, and learn how the motherboard works. The motherboard is the heart of your system. The CPU is the brain of your system. Your SSD is the legs of your system. Your system RAM is the arms of your system. Shall we go on? That's pretty much how it rolls. So, and the GPU is the eyeballs of your system. So whatever you see on your screen is coming from the eyes of the GPU. So, keep that in mind. So, just point blank, keep that in mind. It's basically a whole body stuck in a very big box. It's got to breathe. It's got airflow. That's why it's got fans. It breathes in and out just like a normal human. And if you don't keep up on the dust, then your PC is going to get a sore throat. And then you're going to have problems. Then you're going to, it's going to get real hot and it's going to get a big temperature on the CPU. So, got to keep it nice and clean every 3 months. I say 3 months because it takes about 3 months to get that much dust. And make sure when you're cleaning your fans, use a toothbrush and a little bit of alcohol, Make sure you hold the blades and don't break the blades. Do it very gently and just scrub it very lightly. Your fan is the breather for your system. And if this fan can't breathe, then you're in trouble. That means your motherboard can't get air. Your CPU can't get air. And then you run into a whole bunch of issues with overheating, a bad temperature, and everything else. So, I have to change out motherboards, so just about like starting over. Yep, basically. Pseudoscientists, basically, yeah. I thought I'd be able to just unplug everything and just plug them into a new motherboard. Then I watched a couple videos. Bro, let me explain this. If you get an Asus motherboard, and I'm not a sponsor by the way, you get an Asus motherboard, right? And you go from Asus motherboard to Asus motherboard. It's basically plug and play. Just like with Gigabyte to Gigabyte, ASRock to ASRock, and so on. I like Asus, and I'm not a fanboy. I just like their hardware. Is because it's very easy to plug things in, and you don't have to do much. Now with my motherboard, okay, on my PC, I don't have the fans connected to it. I don't have the RGB connected to it. The only thing I got connected to mine is the I/O, the power button, the reset button, the headphone jack, and the USB ports all plugged in down to the bottom of the motherboard. And I got the 24 pin and I got the 8 pin EPS. That's it. And I got 10 screws. That's it. Once I unplug that and I put in a new motherboard, another Asus motherboard, I can plug it back in 10 minutes. Because everything's marked. And that's not a problem. Because my fans are directly connected to my PSU with this. I don't have that problem. I got RGB fans, and I don't have that problem with motherboard plugging stuff into the motherboard. I eliminated that. So I don't have that headache. Just an idea for you. My fans cost $40. And I got six of them. Cost $40. And if you want a light strip like I got down at the bottom, that's an extra probably $6. And it plugs into a central hub in the back, and that hub plugs directly into the PSU, the power supply unit. And it runs off of this. A remote control. This remote control will control the fans. It'll turn the lights on and off. It gives you fan speed. You can control the fan speed. Mine are set at 2,700 RPMs all day long. So, and I got different motion of color. It's got an auto button for the colors, so it'll auto cycle through all the colors. You can turn the RGB off and make it blacked out. For that price, you cannot beat it with a stick. I don't care what anybody says. These fans don't plug on the motherboard. Nada. The only thing that plugs on the motherboard is the AIO. The pump for the AIO and the RGB for the AIO. That's it. That's the only thing that plugs onto the motherboard. Two things. Everything else, well, actually four things, because you got to figure the 24 pin, the 8 pin EPS, and the CPU, the AIO pump, and the RGB. Four things. So, not hard to even plug into the motherboard. Very simple. So, when you got all the information basically on the internet about, you can pull up the book on your motherboard on the internet. You can go to the manufacturer website. Hopefully, they make it more confusing each time I go. But if not, you can just type in the motherboard's name and you can look up spec sheet, and then it'll give you a PDF, and then you can open up the PDF and you can see everything that's in the book, but bigger. Even the things that they forget to tell you in the book. So, Machine, my friend, how are you doing over there?
Good. I'm running another benchmark with Horizon Zero Dawn.
Okay, since you've got your 4070 Super, what do you think about it?
It's a lot faster than the 6800.
That's it.
It runs a lot colder. So instead of running 90C, it runs 65C. So that it helps a lot. It's quieter. It's just software is way better. DLSS wipes the floor of FSR.
So basically, you can see the difference with the brand new software as well. Not so much.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not used to DLSS 3 like me, because I was brought through the DLSS 3 era and the 2 and the DLSS. So I went through them all. But I can tell you, going from 3 to 4, going from DLSS 3 to 3 even if it says 3.7 to me, it's still DLSS 4. And guess what? My GPU just became a new beast with that new software. It just got beasted up again. So, I'm happy. I don't know about you, Machine, but I'm happy, man.
Yeah. I mean, overall, I don't use as much VRAM with the same settings. So, like when I'm playing Horizon Forbidden West, I would use 14 gigabytes of VRAM.
Yeah.
For the same exact settings as I would for 11 gigabytes of VRAM for the Super.
Yeah.
So, I think, just with my experience, AMD needs to put the extra VRAM on in order to compete with the 12 gigabyte, like 4070. You have to have the 16. Because if you put 12 on that, it'll run. I don't know what's causing that to happen. I don't know if it's the software.
Say that again.
I don't know.
Say that again.
So, let's say what again?
No, just repeat what you. I wasn't paying attention. Go ahead. Repeat what you just said again, really quick.
What about the software?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe it's software. I don't know how the VRAM is utilized. Like, what pulls, what I don't know how to store. I don't know how that works.
It's way different than AMD.
Well, yeah, but I don't know if it's a hardware issue or software or both. So
The utilization,
like,
the utilization's a lot different.
just I mean, the way it seems to me from using both platforms is the only thing that he has over Nvidia as of right now is I like the fact that you can use Adrenaline to kind of, you can get in a little bit deeper into your clocks and all that into there.
Yeah.
But that's it. And I think Nvidia's getting there. I also think that they're not going to let you do whatever you want because, people can destroy their AMD cards by just by pegging everything.
No.
So I think that Nvidia has the right idea where we're not going to let you destroy your stuff on our system. If you want to use MSI Afterburner and do it with them. We're not going to do it on our software.
Right.
Right. Yeah, so I don't know. Like, it's just, you can overclock AMD GPUs more, but it just runs so hot. Like 90C, I've got fire blowing out the back of my computer. So
that's cooling.
Like, God knows.
That's a cooling issue you're having with you. That's a case cooling issue, bro.
Well, now I'm having issues now.
Yeah.
Cold. running benchmarks. There's cold air coming out the back of my CPU.
Yeah, but
Back of my
that
CPU.
usually when it runs that high, it's usually a case cooling issue. So the issue's not there now is because now you
No,
got more positive pressure coming into the case. That's the thing.
that's true because the card was taking up all the way to the fan, so
Exactly.
my GPU was blocking a fan.
Exactly. So you're only getting 3/4 of the air, and you were stuck in between a positive and negative pressure. That's the reason why I like only 2 fans on my graphics card. Because I like all my fans to breathe and push a breeze from the input of the front of the case all the way up to where the right down at the bottom of the motherboard and draws it right up into the top of the AIO cooler and out the PC. So it breathes. 3 in the front, 3 in the back. If you don't get a positive airflow of a 3 to 3, then what happens is you're going to have heating issues in your case. Now, if you have 3 intake fans and you have 4 outtake fans, then you're causing your intake fans to spin slower because it's sucking air through there faster, and it's actually that is like chaining the fans and making them slow down. It'll make the fans slower, especially if you're doing positive air pressure. So you always want to match air intake to air outtake. You match one to the other. So, and with your 3 extra fans or your 2 extra fans on your GPU, that's just blowing up and out the back.
Right.
So.
Hey, I posted my Horizon Zero Dawn benchmark.
You have a new person in.
Yep.
Hello there, G Boogie. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Great name.
Yeah. So, we all talk on the general text chat. So, I got different, how can you say it, chat streams, basically. So, we all talk on the general text chat. It's the hashtag general text chat. You can go right there and you can see what we're doing. Well, you already did, but I got to catch up, man. Jeez. You guys are like flying past me. So, you're in there, GB. No problem, man. I see ya. Welcome to the Discord. And don't forget to hit the like button on this live video. I know everybody forgets that. I get like 70, 80, 90 viewers, maybe 100. Maybe I'm hoping 1,000,000 viewers. Hopefully you guys are getting the word out for me, and I'm trying to get the word out and bust everybody's chops and tell them to get over here and tell them to, you know, we got to do something. We got to get to 1,000 subscribers. This way I can take and get up and get more going on. See, the more subscribers we get, the better these companies will see the channel. And the more that they see the channel, the more that they're going to say, hey, you know, they're going to nudge me in the arm and say, you know, we got something for you. So, we just have to keep working towards it and see where this goes. Right, Machine?
Take my break.
Uh-huh. So the scientist says, I'll be joining in the next weeks or two. Next 2 weeks. The week or two. Okay. That's no problem. Just let me know, pseudoscientist. Look, I'm going to say this again, guys. If you want to become a Discord member, all you have to do is leave a comment on the video. Hashtag J, make me a Discord member. Very simple. I read everything that goes on those videos daily, even though sometimes it'd take me a couple days to get there, but we get there. We will get there. We'll send you a link, so just be patient and the link will come to you. So, just keep that in mind. But as far as the benchmarking, since we didn't want to get off track or two, I'm going to say like this. It's not hard to benchmark. You have to start at the bottom. You have to start at the beginning. You have to get a baseline. If you don't establish a native baseline, then you're not going to know which way to go when it comes to doing that next step. So you want the baseline and benchmark it out and see how it plays out. And then after that, build from there. What works best next? In textures, FPS, both combined. You want a happy medium between your textures and your FPS. So this way you don't have what they call artifacting or getting shimmering or, some of that stuff that everybody complains about. They can sit there and make a whole video and complain about the shimmering but never show you that shimmering or show you any part of it that it actually does that. But on my live videos, if it shimmers, you're going to see it. Is because the FPS rate is different on live than it is on a regular video. If you guys didn't know that. This is something that other reviewers don't talk about. Because they don't use the live into their advantage when it comes to benchmarking. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? What do you think, Machine? Does that make sense? Well, if you can get 90% seeing what I see on my screen live, or close to 100%, then you see the actual truth. But if you're getting like 30 to 60 FPS off of a video, I've already benchmarked the videos, they come out 30 FPS. But in live streaming, I think it's like I hit it over at 3,000 FPS. I think it's something like that. Does that sound right? Huh. Let's see. Hold on. Let's find out. Curious Minds wants to know. Curious Minds wants to know if it does it. Believe it or not, it won't let me connect to OBS. But it won't let me connect to YouTube. Interesting. Interesting. Let's see if I hit F10, if anything happens. Nope. Can't use MSI Afterburner for it neither. But I can tell you guys, yeah, I can tell you, it's pretty good. See, stream health looks excellent. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So, Machine, are you all set now?
Yeah, I think so.
Was there any other questions or problems that you were having?
Yeah, not right now. That might come in the future.
Uh-huh.
But I try something else.
Well,
That's
you
what
know,
Discord's for.
yeah. You know, we can always jump on the stream. We can always talk. We can always work through it.
Yep.
So it's not a big deal, you know. That's the way I look at it. And believe it or not, I do that for about a lot of people too. Not just Machine. I can do it for everybody that's out there. And believe it or not, I'm not like a stick in the mud and, you know, have my nose up in the air to everybody and say, look, you know, my time's more important if you pay me for it, other than me giving it to you for free, kind of thing. And you know, that really pissed me off, though. I'm going to explain why. I'm not going to say who the reviewer is, but when you guys put those paywalls in front of there and do a live stream and put a paywall in front of it and say you got to pay to see me, that is the most insulting thing I have ever heard in my whole life. And I shook my head. And I turned around. I banned that reviewer. I'm not going to say who it is, but I banned him. Won't be able to even click on my channel. Won't even know who I am. And that's the way I'm going to keep it. I'm not going to say who it is, but when I seen that nonsense, that was it. I understand we're all a community and everything else, but it comes to a point in time to where when you start acting like that and you start acting like the good old dollar is more important than people's feelings, I don't want nothing to do with that person. That's human nature. What do you think, Machine? Do you think I did wrong?
No, I think that if you do live streams, there shouldn't be a paywall because you should be helping your community.
Exactly.
Because they're the ones that put you where you are. You're successful because of the people that are there. So by saying that you need to pay them, they need to pay for your help or for your questions or anything. It's just it's like an insult.
Yeah, it's insult to injury.
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense to me. If they want to give money, there's other ways to do it.
Yeah.
But I would never put any content behind a paywall. That doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what they're doing now. Almost 90% of them that are monetized by YouTube are putting a paywall on their comments or anything else, making people pay for it. And it's insulting. I'm not the kind of person that has that kind of money to be going out there and paying for me leaving a comment. Now, I can understand that, you know, they do it because they don't want people trolling and everything else. You know, look, and I haven't had that problem yet. Believe it or not. Not yet. Well, I might have one or twice, but that was a long time ago. But now, I don't have that problem. That's because I'm speaking the truth. That's the whole problem. You can't speak the truth when you consider this a job. Here, let me move this around a little bit. Ugh. This right here, I consider a job. And plus it's, you know, helping you guys out. It kills 57 billion stones at one time, I guess. I don't know. But if it helps everybody out, I don't mind putting the information out there. Even if I talk about something now on the live stream, you can go back on replay and see it again. So you're not missing anything. I covered all the bases when it comes to the videos. No, you won't miss a thing. Not one thing. You can go back, you can look at it, And then, if you're building a PC and I put some information out there, and, you can go back and play it again until you get it just the way you want it. And then after that, you just keep going up. So, I make it very easy for everybody. I just lost my right monitor. I need to restart my computer. Okay, bro. Okay.
All right, I'll be back on in just a second.
Yeah, all you had to do is say, "Hey, bro, I'll be right back." I'll still be on the call, so you can always pop back in.
Yeah, I'll get right back on.
Okay. Alrighty. So, as you can see, guys, it's not rocket science. If we all band together being a community, then I can say we all, not both, we all can grow as a community. And the only way we can grow as a community is if you guys hit the subscribe button and put some positive likes on the videos. It doesn't cost you one dime. And the way, I do it here, basically, is if you want to donate something to the channel, then I have an email. You can leave an email if you want to donate something to the channel. Temporarily until YouTube can get us on monetization. But we can't until we get 1,000 subscribers. So, you want to help me there? Get me 1,000 subscribers. Well, no, don't give me 1,000. Give me 400 subscribers. And then we get monetized. And then I can work and make everything nice and smooth. And don't worry, you're not going to be charged for your comments or anything else. Take that fear factor right out. Just to let you know. It's not going to happen like that. You win playing it for no need to gatekeep for dollars. I'm not gatekeeping for dollars, bro. I am not gatekeeping for dollars. Not at all. I'm just explaining myself so everybody understands we're all on the same page. You always been a real one. I watched you build from the ground up on this channel. Well, yeah. I know, man. I know. But there comes a point in time that we got to keep growing. That we got to keep going. And the only way we're going to keep growing is if we keep getting subscribers. And that's what we're trying to do now. We're trying to get more subscribers. So we can keep growing. Sometimes you'll get to a standstill. Sometimes you won't. But we will keep growing for sure. For sure. We'll keep growing. But anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and call it right here on the video. I'll be on Discord if you want to join the Discord. I left a link in the chat. You can sign up for the Discord. And I hope you all enjoyed this little bit of a powwow and benchmarking kind of thing. I call it kind of a thing. So, you know how it goes. It's just a kind of a thing, It's a thing. But anyway, it's a thing. Like machine. Right, machine?
Yeah, whatever you said.
Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and close out the video. If we're all squared away, machine, we'll stay on the call on Discord. And But I'm going to close off the video and call it good. He got what he needed, guys. He got the answer he was looking for, and when it was coming time for his benchmarking, he's all squared away. So you all squared away, machine?
Yep.
Alrighty. Alright, everybody. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Make sure you post. Well, make sure you turn on your notifications. Turn on your notifications. Turn on your notifications so you know when I post the next video. Till the next time. Till the next time in the next video. You know it is. And we'll see you on the next one.